A shocking rumor is making its way through the halls of power in Whitehall, with whispers about a conspiracy so outlandish that it seems almost unbelievable, if not for the undeniable evidence. An internal security report, once secured deep within MI5's confidential archives, has mysteriously surfaced. And now, all attention is focused on Meghan Markle. She stands accused of placing an insider within Prince William's operations to gather intelligence on private meetings, work schedules, and sensitive internal matters. It sounds like something straight out of a thriller, but is it fact or just a rumor? What do you make of this situation? Could it be a real conspiracy, or is it just empty chatter? And if Meghan is indeed involved, how could this impact the royal family's reputation? If you think Meghan might be involved, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, comment 0. Don't forget to like, share your thoughts, and hit subscribe to stay up to date with all our latest content. We're here to keep you informed with the most fascinating and captivating stories. On July 16th, the story took a dramatic turn when a whistleblower from MI5 allegedly handed over a file to a senior official in Parliament. The headline that set everything ablaze read, "Unlawful Influence Operation. Targets Prince William's office." Within hours, rumors spread like wildfire. A staff member close to Camilla, possibly someone in a logistics role, was quietly let go a few weeks ago. No official statement, no explanation, just a name removed from the roster. A palace insider speaking anonymously to a London-based commentator revealed, "Trust was broken. This isn't just about loyalty, it's a matter of national security." Then, a bombshell tweet appeared. On July 16, 2025, a follower of Royal Hawk posted, "If what I'm hearing is true, Meghan didn't just cross a line. She breached royal protocol and encroached on secure British intelligence areas. This isn't petty anymore. This is espionage. Windsor campaign. Nobody can believe it." As timelines began to align, the truth started to surface. Meghan's strange travel schedule earlier this summer raised eyebrows. She was briefly in London, supposedly to meet friends. And now a royal aide with links to her has been quietly dismissed, with no public explanation. This isn't just tabloid chatter. It's now part of an active MI5 investigation. A senior aide has confirmed that this issue has been developing for months. Every deleted tweet, every false claim, and every PR cover-up has been meticulously examined and pieced together. An internal MI5 memo, known as the Sapphire B document, revealed suspicious patterns dating back to early spring. The staffer involved, a woman in her 30s with dual British and American citizenship, had initially passed all security checks. Her record was spotless, her references impeccable. Yet, as time went on, something didn't quite add up. Her work patterns began to shift in unsettling ways. She repeatedly requested proximity to Prince William's planning meetings, even volunteering to take notes on topics outside her role. She asked an unusual number of questions about procedures, schedules, and security escort teams. Then, she made a fatal error. A late-night printer log revealed that she accessed a classified operations draft, a document intended for select personnel only. According to a leaked MI5 report, this breach triggered an automatic alert. By morning, surveillance systems were activated, and as MI5 dug deeper, her digital trail became increasingly suspicious. Encrypted WhatsApp messages, deleted voice notes, and a troubling folder in her personal cloud backup labeled Frogmore Reference were discovered, containing recordings of internal conversations allegedly linked to Meghan. Then came the real shock. A single message, reportedly extracted from her cloud backup during MI5's investigation, was leaked to a royal reporter. The message read, "M wants updates. If Will's team is planning platform or press strategy changes, we need to know before it happens. She still has options and leverage. The M isn't hard to decode. A British Crown intelligence officer tweeted on July 17, 2025. The M wants updates message is real. I've seen it. MI5 has been tracking this for months. This isn't gossip. It's an ongoing surveillance operation. Meghan's team may have contacted the wrong agency. Parliament has been briefed. Sources reveal that 2 members of the Joint Security Committee were notified as early as June, weeks before the issue went public. Yet, the royal family remains eerily quiet. Behind that silence, however, lies a brewing conflict of loyalty, protection, and the threat of exposure. As whispers of espionage swirled within Kensington Palace, it was already too late. Prince William's office had been infiltrated. Staff were quietly summoned for private interviews. Devices were thoroughly audited. One usually composed aide was visibly shaken after a 3rd round of intense security questioning. Another resigned on the spot, without any notice. Still, no explanations were provided, no arrests were made, and no press conferences were held. The situation remained tightly sealed until a rogue former palace aide leaked information, igniting a media frenzy. The timeline of Meghan's previous visits to London raised significant concerns. Each trip seemed to coincide with sudden surges in encrypted data traffic originating from Prince William's private quarters. One particularly glaring example emerged on April 9, 2025, an intercepted email. It was a brief 8-word message sent from the suspect mole's secondary email account. W's post-Geneva plan changes, weekly updates to M. Though the email was routed through a VPN, the metadata revealed its origin, an unsecured network located just outside Clarence House. That same week, Meghan was spotted at a private terminal at Heathrow, arriving without any scheduled official engagements. A coincidence? Unlikely. A prominent royal blogger, Crown Watch, tweeted on July 17, 2025, "They're trying to say Meghan was here for charity meetings, but airport logs show she arrived 3 days early and stayed at a private residence owned by an ex-PR fixer." Then, the email leaked. Insiders believe this was the tipping point when MI5 sprang into action. A rapid response team was reportedly dispatched to interrogate everyone who had access to Prince William's schedule that week. Security badges were deactivated, communications were severed. An unnamed guard, later quoted in a now-deleted post, revealed that the entire East Wing went radio silent for 48 hours. Something shifted, and whatever MI5 uncovered behind the scenes, the guard said. The situation escalated to the point where it triggered a protocol known only to a select few insiders. Red Bolt. It's not a term the public ever hears, not in MI5's official documentation, nor in press briefings or government memos. Former intelligence operatives describe Red Bolt as a containment protocol activated only when the monarchy faces a direct internal threat. Not an external one, but a breach from within the palace itself. Investigators suspect the mole wasn't simply gathering schedules or trivial gossip. The information in question included sensitive details related to national interests, upcoming press briefings with foreign officials, and internal reviews of security measures following recent royal tours. Even Prince William has begun adjusting his travel plans in response to leaks about potential protest threats. This isn't just about rumors, it's about surveillance, and for the royal family, this is a line that has never been crossed before. Senior royal reporter Fiona Talbot, alluded to this in a cryptic tweet on July 18, 2025. This is not just a PR nightmare or a tabloid circus. I've covered 3 royal crises, and I've never seen the walls this tense. MI5's involvement is no accident. Meanwhile, Meghan's camp in California remains conspicuously silent. Undeniably, there's been no anger, no legal threats, and no public statements. Just silence. And that silence hasn't gone unnoticed, especially since Meghan has never been one to stay quiet when accused. But this time she says nothing. Even with rumors circulating that she's preparing a documentary series about systemic deception within organizations, even when a prominent BBC producer was spotted leaving her home in Montecito, and even as insiders at Spotify hint at a new audio project titled The Uncrowned, the royal legal team in London is still on high alert. A leaked memo from the Cabinet Office has revealed the potential risks of disclosing public information and the severe consequences that could follow. If documents related to this operation were to be disclosed in court, trust in the constitutional offices could be irreparably damaged. Containment has become critical. This issue is no longer about image, it's about control. Behind closed doors, Prince William quietly issued a directive. Everything Meghan touches must be isolated, verified, and secured. What happens next forces Parliament to confront a decision it has never had to face before. On the morning of July 19th, a red-sealed envelope was delivered to the Home Office. Inside was a single directive, backed by an internal MI5 assessment and signed by 2 senior royal security officers. This order activated the 13C Protective Buffer Protocol. In simple terms, any personnel within the palace's executive machinery who have had or currently have ties to Meghan Markle's staff, charities, or media companies would undergo an immediate, enhanced vetting process, not tomorrow, but now. By 2 p.m. that same day, at least in William and Kate's department, assistants were indefinitely suspended pending investigation. 2 IT contractors had their licenses revoked. A royal press secretary was escorted out of Clarence House before reporters could get wind of the situation. And then, the hammer fell. The name of a trusted employee, hidden within the reports but confirmed by multiple sources to have worked under Meghan, is believed to have transferred encrypted communications between Meghan and a foreign press agency. This wasn't about fashion or charity. It was about internal royal debates over constitutional reform, discussions that should never have left the soundproof room, let alone crossed the Atlantic. Tom Bexley, a former MI5 cybersecurity advisor, tweeted on July 19th, "Leaking press photos is one thing, but leaking policy discussions related to the king, that's espionage, not public relations." Suddenly, Meghan's silence isn't just curious, it's strategic. Insiders claim this isn't the first time she's attempted to infiltrate internal circles. A royal source told the Daily Sentinel, "We suspected last year when an internal staff meeting appeared as a reinterpretation on an American podcast." Do you think Meghan is truly turning the tide, or is everything slipping beyond her control? Leave a 1 if you believe she's using this strategy to navigate the challenges, or a 0 if you think things are getting out of hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest breaking news. But this time, it was different. The content wasn't rephrased, it was verbatim. The leak had gone viral, digital, verbal, personal, and Parliament wasn't about to let it spread from behind closed doors to the House of Commons. They were briefed on classified exposure pathways, and a rarely used clause was being discussed, one intended not for politicians but for royals and their associates. This was the first hint of what would later be known as the Silent Sanction Order. As for Meghan, she still said nothing. By the next morning, her camp was on high alert, but by then, it was already too late. MI5 carried out what insiders referred to as a containment sweep, an internal operation where suspected communication channels were not only severed but actively monitored. Devices, laptops, and even some flimsy Wi-Fi routers were wiped clean. Then, a discovery turned whispers into a full-blown emergency. A burner phone, registered under an alias and traced back to an aide who had once worked with Meghan's U.S. team, had pinged a cell tower near Kensington Palace twice. One at 3:14 a.m., the other at 4:02 a.m. Both times, encrypted sessions were detected between the device and a server in London, later traced back to a media organization infamous for the palace leaks. MI5 responded with what they dubbed Phase Raven. This was no longer just about Meghan. It was about identifying the mole. Someone tweeted on July 20th from Ruth Whitmore Royal, "It feels so strange. The palace is quiet, but the silence is loaded with intent. Something's happening, and Meghan's name is everywhere." Just hours later, rumors began to circulate that King Charles had canceled all public appearances for the next 48 hours, not due to illness or security concerns, but to meet with senior MI5 advisors at Windsor. An anonymous source revealed that the king spoke only 6 words after reviewing the files. "We are being manipulated from within." Meanwhile, Harry was reportedly caught off guard. Several journalists claimed he hadn't even been informed that Parliament was preparing a closed-door session to address the infiltration allegations. What no one anticipated, however, was that Meghan had already started crafting a counter-narrative. She wasn't drafting a statement to deny the allegations, but to deflect them. Meghan's close associates hadn't slept that night, with many confirming that her team was scrambling to prepare a strategy to soften her reputation in case the MI5 investigation went public. But what triggered the suspicious signs within? It turned out that Buckingham Palace was the very place she reached out to for advice. A former PR director, with deep ties to political crisis management firms in the United States, was the woman known as the fixer for Hollywood elites facing federal scrutiny. Meghan's message to her crisis manager was blunt. "Draft something that makes them look paranoid. I need the public on my side before they do this to me." On July 21st, someone tweeted on Rural Files, "Why is no one talking about Meghan hiring a crisis manager?" Meanwhile, MI5 was deep into an investigation of an undercover agent within the palace. This wasn't just a rumor. However, the palace wasn't focused on the PR stunt. What happened next took everyone by surprise. MI5 set up a test. They sent a fake message through a secret but compromised channel, one that only an inside agent would have the clearance to access. It was set to be intercepted within 45 minutes. The message appeared almost verbatim in an anonymous online post from a user whose IP address traced back to Los Angeles. The trap had worked. They weren't merely targeting suspicion anymore. They had solid evidence of foreign coordination. Suddenly, Meghan's team wasn't just battling rumors, they were being quietly monitored digitally. Specific keywords, including Kate, were flagged across emails, calls, and even WhatsApp messages. The deeper they dug, the more they uncovered. A draft document hidden in a backup folder of a cloud account linked to Meghan's team, discovered by forensic cyber experts. Its title was Demi Vinci Quattrot Plan William Exposure DocX. Even palace staff were left stunned when they learned of it. The issue wasn't just about avoiding Meghan. It was about deliberately tarnishing the future king's image. Once the document was leaked internally, everything began to unravel. 2020 wasn't just a draft. It was a full-fledged media strategy with key focuses on Prince William's past, his marriage, and most alarmingly, his mental health. It included suggested language for anonymous comments, key points for a social media campaign, and even time-sensitive whistleblowing posts. One line read, "Create enough smoke around William's ability to lead, and the public will start questioning the future of the crown." That sentence is said to have triggered a full lockdown within the palace. King Charles's private secretary was reportedly summoned for an emergency meeting at midnight. MI5 escalated the violation to internal sabotage, and palace systems were flagged for remote monitoring. But the real bombshell came when an email from one of Meghan's longtime assistants was flagged, sent to an encrypted server in Switzerland. The email contained a chilling line. "We need to act faster. If MI5 is watching, that asset needs to be activated within 2 weeks, or it will be destroyed." The term asset immediately set off alarm bells. Could this refer to a planted spy within the palace, or was someone outside being used to launder money or redirect information? A royal insider tweeted on July 23rd on Rio Watch UK, "Sources confirmed that an MI5 investigation has uncovered at least one digital spy within the royal family, and it might not even be who you think." Suddenly, even long-time palace staff were quietly rotated or reassigned, with some not even being given an explanation. One staff member, after 6 years working in William's office, was abruptly fired. For Meghan, the trap had now become a calculated move. While she denied everything behind closed doors, there was something even she hadn't anticipated. MI5 was coordinating with a foreign intelligence ally, and that ally had intercepted a phone call between someone in Meghan's team in the US and an anonymous number in the UK. The voice on that call was about to change everything. The intercepted call was flagged in a cross-digital surveillance campaign between MI5 and the NCAA. The metadata alone raised suspicions, a signal sent from a burner phone in London to a private encrypted number in California. But it was the voice that triggered the escalation. After enhancing the sound and verifying it, the voice was confirmed to be one of Meghan's most trusted assistants in the US, who had previously managed her brand partnerships. And in that call, the message was anything but vague. It was razor sharp. "Let's take whatever we can from William's desk. Anything related to climate negotiations, especially before his next solo tour," the voice continued, adding, "If we can leak the information before he lands in Sydney, we'll control the narrative. Meghan wants everything clarified." That line was underlined in the internal report. MI5 didn't wait until morning. An urgent security check was launched inside Kensington Palace. All computers, USB ports, and unregistered network devices were locked down, but it was a mini USB drive hidden inside a decoration on the desk that cracked the case wide open. The decoration, a custom-made bronze lion that Meghan had gifted to the palace years ago as a gesture of peace, concealed something unexpected. Inside the lion was a flash drive, an obfuscated ultra-alt Trojan horse. Within hours, a cybersecurity task force from Parliament was formed. A member of Parliament posted on X, formerly Twitter, on July 24th. "If this digital breach turns out to involve former senior royals, we are entering uncharted waters. This is not just a family tragedy. It's a national security issue." Behind closed doors, King Charles was reported to have been briefed directly. What happened next was not quiet restraint. It was a decisive action the palace had avoided for years. A sealing order was signed, and Meghan was about to face a level of scrutiny no former royal had ever endured. Within 48 hours of confirming the breach, a high-level MI5 report was sent to the Prime Minister's office, marked only for extremely sensitive eyes. The report not only accused intent, but also alleged execution, claiming that the espionage plot within William's office had surpassed standard network intrusion tactics. It relied on direct placement, meaning someone had physically installed that Trojan device. And that was when the real twist occurred. Surveillance footage revealed that the bronze lion statue had been repositioned on William's desk 2 weeks earlier during a private check by a public relations specialist from a charity communications team, later found to be quietly funded by a non-profit in California linked to Meghan's team. Worse still, MI5 uncovered internal emails showing the deliberate manipulation of the schedule, ensuring that this liaison specialist was granted exclusive access to William's research for exactly 8 minutes. It wasn't carelessness. It was deliberate. Someone tweeted a question at Royal Hawk News on July 25th. How did they get so deep? How did no one notice a surveillance device gifted to the future king? The monarchy hadn't just been breached, it had been infiltrated. And from that moment on, everything changed. That same day, King Charles convened a rare emergency session at Balmoral. William was present. So was the Home Secretary. The meeting lasted for hours. When they emerged, reports indicated one sentence echoed throughout the room. She's crossed the Rubicon. The royal family could no longer remain silent. An internal statement was issued, announcing that a formal review of all security privileges related to the royals, including those granted to Meghan's team, was underway. Meanwhile, MI5 agents were dispatched to interrogate every link between Meghan's current staff and former intelligence officers. And perhaps the most shocking revelation came from an exclusive source within MI6, who claimed that the incident had triggered an old protocol, not used since the Cold War, designed to address internal threats to national institutions. With comprehensive surveillance and increasingly tense developments, do you think Meghan can overcome this battle? Will she manage to turn the situation around, or is everything gradually spiraling out of control? If you believe things are beyond saving, leave a 1 in the comments. If you think Meghan still has a chance to resolve it, comment 0. Enjoy the video and don't forget to hit subscribe to support the channel. We'll continue bringing you captivating and unexpected stories, always keeping you updated with the hottest news.